Welcome back everybody. Today's a lovely new day and it did rain this morning for around 3 hours, but it was all while I was asleep, so that was alright. It's nice and sunny now, and it's going to stay sunny for the foreseeable future. I think we've got a big area low pressure over us, which is brilliant, which means, you know, not much more rain, and it's good because we're going to be on the River Nene hopefully in a month and a half, mid-April. Let's just hope that stays relatively dry, because the Nene's on flood at the moment, red boards. Yeah, today I thought we'd go on another little walk. I've got some interesting things to show you guys today. The main one being
Daresbury Hall.
Yeah, it's an old abandoned hall, and it's got an interesting story behind it. But I'm just heading up into Daresbury Firs now. Yeah, about a 4-mile walk today on a lovely winter's day. Yeah, it's pretty cold, about 7 degrees. So reading off the sign here, so Daresbury Firs here, it's clearly a plantation, and it is. Planted over 20 years ago as a sort of tree factory. So one day these will be chopped down again. Yeah, in the 19th century it was mostly been cut down. There was woodland here before, probably ancient woodland, sadly. And they cut it down by 1910, and then they planted all these pine trees here in 1978. So it says that plantations are managed as an ongoing business. Coffers, which are these, not these trees, these silver birches here, felled from 20 years old. And then every 5 to 10 years, as the new growth blocks out the light, at ages 60 and 70, all trees are felled and then replanted again. So yeah, it's another 20 odd years and then they'll probably be chopped down. Right, so I think that's the path. We won't go up there. I think I'll take the more gradual route, up and around. Yeah, got to cross Chester Road now, the A56. I hate crossing roads, especially A roads. So there's one, you may know, a Tardy Big tunnel. If you want to get to the other side of the towpath, you have to cross this dual carriageway at 70 miles per hour. It is
Scary.
And it's ridiculous that is the only way to cross it. There should be a bridge over or tunnel underneath. But that's the way you have to go down there. This ain't that bad. Well, turns out I wouldn't have to cross the road. At least not here, because they were actually resurfacing the entire road
Should have
here.
known that new housing and resurfacing of the road would get in the way of the footpath. I don't know where I have to go now. Probably all the way down here to cross the other side. It's annoying.
Across the road, I made my way to the lovely village of Daresbury, which is quite a famous place actually, as this was none other but the birthplace to the famous author Lewis Carroll, who, of course, wrote Alice in Wonderland. Daresbury is only a very small village, as it only has a population of around 250. Its name means Dior's fortification, derived from Old English. I then decided to follow the signs for the Lewis and Carroll's Centre, which led me to the All Saints Church.
In the 12th century, a chapel was founded on the site of this church. This ain't the original. Other than the tower, the church was largely rebuilt in 1870 to 1872. Built in beautiful red sandstone with a slate roof. Built in a perpendicular Gothic style. There's something quite sad about reading these graves and just thinking about who these people were and what their lives were about and how they come to die. I'm not really a religious person, but I'm agnostic. But the thing I like most about churches is obviously the stained glass windows and the beautiful architecture. I then found the Lewis Carroll's Centre, which I found out all the information about him. And what better place to learn about him than the very place he was born. He was born in this very church on the 27th of January 1832. Some people may not know this, but his actual name is Charles Dodgson. Charles Carroll was his pen name. It's made to make their names stick out more and more distinctive, and also to hide their gender as well, and to protect the reputation of the real person. Of course, his most notable work, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, written in 1865. After he wrote the books while living in Oxford, he had a great imagination, and when he was playing in the fields around this very little village, he used to invent games that involved toads and earthworms, snails and little bits of pipe. On the 4th of July 1862, whilst they were on a boat trip on the River Thames at Folly Bridge to Godstall in Oxford, Charles and his friend Reverend Robinson Duckworth were rowing, and the girls, as usual, asked for a story, and at the end of the trip, Alice insisted that this time a very special story should be written down. 3.5 years later, she received her very own written copy of Alice's Adventures Underground. In 1864, the artist John Tennell agreed to illustrate the longer version of the story, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
That's fascinating. I had no idea this was Lewis Carroll's birthplace. That's fascinating. Wow, what are the odds? I did a bit of research on this place. Like, I found the manor. I didn't find that. I should have done a bit of research on Daresbury. That was really fascinating. Crazy.
This walk actually does take you to the original house of Lewis Carroll, but unfortunately it's a little bit too far for me to walk today.
A lot of you people are probably saying, going down in the comments now, "Oh Josh, this is where the steam fair is. The Cheshire Steam Fair." I know. This is also the location of the Cheshire Steam Fair, which looks really cool. It's been going for about 30 years and has all sorts of historic steam vehicles, steamers, old cars. Really, really interesting. I'd love to see that as well. Maybe I'll come back and when I'm up in this area, try and work it out when I come up and see the breach around that time. Maybe I'll go to the Lim Transport Day as well. Well, the hall is just over there.
At first I wondered what the hell that was. I could see like a fairly new humpback bridge. It almost looked like a railway bridge or a canal bridge, but I knew no canals or railways ran through here. But what it was actually a miniature railway, which is to do with the Cheshire Steam Fair, which does look pretty fun actually. Which ultimately led up to the Daresbury Hall. So this once beautiful Georgian country house, which was built in 1759, predates the canal, by George Heron. It is actually a designated Grade 2 listed house. It descended through his family until 1850, when it became the property of Samuel Becket Chadwick. By 1892, it had been acquired by Sir Gibbet Greenhall. During the Second World War, it was actually used as a military hospital for some years. From 1955 It was owned by a charity known as Scope, which was a residential home for handicapped people. It did become semi-derelict for a while, until being bought by a millionaire who actually died, unfortunately, before it could be restored. And then in April 2015, a large cannabis farm was found containing 600 plants with an estimated street value of $750,000, and it was discovered in one of the annexes on the estate. But in 2016, there were plans to partly demolish and convert the house, but in June of that year, the empty building was badly damaged by a fire. There is now, however, applications to turn into flats. It's only really being held up by the scaffolding around it.
Right, we've seen all the interesting stuff. Let's make our way back to the boat and get ready for the cruise tomorrow down to Runcorn.
And then slowly but surely made my way back, and I'm glad that shower missed me. And then while jamming out to my music, this happened.
Hello, you're crazy, aren't you? I thought you were coming for me then, mate. It's probably my dead cat.
As you can see, there's a quarry in the woodlands here, and this quarry would have likely been used to build part of the church. I wondered what this stone was, but it's actually a boundary stone between the townships of Daresbury and Keckwick. There is another one around here with the letter B on it, and they don't actually have a date. It's also not really known what the letters represent.
Hello, yin yang. This is so nice. I did keep them in my bag, but then no one else can. Toby's jealous, he don't want me.
Missed it.
What's this? You're on your shoulder, you're going to get down on Daddy's shoulder.
He doesn't like to come up. Toby likes only him.
Look at him, he's like a parrot. Isn't you?
Yeah, you went shopping. He's burning away here.
This is what he does when Dad's fishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Welcome back, everybody.
Morning! Get the gloves on.
It's another
A chilly one this morning.
Yeah, it's chilly, but it's lovely.
It's a beautiful day
Sun's
though,
going back
freezing. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Excuse me, I think I got a bit of a cold. I was like, yes, one winter when I haven't got a cold. I was amazed.
You did have a sore throat, and it usually starts with that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I got a running nose and a blocked nose.
Well, it's usually the allergies, guys, that affects it.
Dust.
I think it's a cold.
I'm allergic to dust. But yeah, today we're going to head down to Runcorn. Yeah, we're going to head down into Runcorn. Never been there before. Never been there on the canal. We were going to pass it by, but we've got to wait until the 1st before we go back on CRT waters. So, you know, kill some time, go down there.
It's only a couple of days. It's 27th.
Saturday, we're going back on CRT. So yeah, we're going to head down into Runcorn. I can actually see one of the bridges. Yeah, because we're gonna have a little look at the 10 locks there. Because there's 10 locks that used to take you down from Manchester Ship Canal that are abandoned now. Which is a shame, really, because it would have been another way to get, you know, around. But they are thinking about restoring them, so we're going to explore them, and we're also going to have a little look at the 2 bridges there that cross over and head towards Liverpool. So yeah, we're going to have a little mooch around. There's a couple other things to see in Runcorn, and then we'll probably head back the same day, because we don't really like staying in towns or cities. We like staying in the countryside. So yeah, it's only about 5 miles, but we've got so excuse all the rubbish on the bow, because we've got nowhere to get rid of it. I think there might be one place, the book says, near Preston Brook Marina.
Not many places on the Bridgewater to get rid of it, is there?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any actually.
Morning!
There's well, the only water point we found was the one where we mourned it.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
So it's hardly, there's hardly anything.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna head down there and have a little look. Right, so this is the UK canal map. We are down here in Keckwick in Cheshire on the Bridgewater Canal. Today, of course, we'll be heading down to Preston Brook, where we will then head on to the Runcorn branch of the Bridgewater Canal. We'll make our way slowly but surely down the canal towards Runcorn. And when we do eventually reach Runcorn, we'll moor up there and have a little explore of the old 10-lock flight that used to go down to the Manchester Ship Canal, and a look at the bridges, before making our way back down the canal towards Preston Brook. And eventually when we do get to Preston Brook, we'll moor up just before the tunnel there at the limit of the Bridgewater Canal, making the cruise about 11 miles. Oh, look at that, they got a coffer down here.
Quite slow. Thank you, darling. Sorry about that.
We got told off. Mum just got told off for speeding.
I wasn't really speeding, John, was I?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing, but something to do with their new houses, I suppose. Funny to see another coffer down there so soon. Ugh, more new houses. So the original canal had been built from Wordsley to Manchester, but in September 1761 there had been plans for James Brindley to do a survey to see if they could make an extension to Runcorn. Despite objections from the Mersey and Irwell Navigation Company, the Act reached royal assent and was given on the 24th of March 1762, and the junction was called Trafford's Park, at which the new extension branched south through Stratford, Sale, Little Bollington and Lymm, and finally Runcorn. The basin in Runcorn was about 90 feet above the Mersey, so a flight of 10 locks were needed, which were called the wonder of their time. More on that later. You can see where we were now. We're over by that tower. And this magnificent building that we've been seeing for ages is the Norton Water Tower. It was built between 1888 and 1892 on the water pipeline between North Wales and Liverpool to act as a balancing reservoir in the process of supplying water to Runcorn and Liverpool. The water was supplied to Liverpool via a tunnel 10 feet wide under the Mersey. It is the UK's largest trombone pressure release device in operation. Still being used today.
It's around 99 feet tall and built in red sandstone.
Not quite as elegant as a snake bridge.
Should never worked out what it was.
Yeah, sorry, that was me this morning. Sofa. Definitely a fly fishing, no? Fly tipping.
Fly tipping.
Fish. So this is weird to say it's such an urban place.
We now reach the end, Runcorn Basin. And unfortunately we have to turn around here because of course the 10 locks down onto the Manchester Canal are now abandoned. But we're more up here and explore more on foot. So this is of course the site of where 10 locks were built between 1771 and 1773 to connect Runcorn Basin to the River Mersey. They are arranged in 5 sets of 2 staircase locks. They all fell by about 7 feet until the last one, which was 20 feet at low tide, making the fall about 90 feet. But this flight soon became congested and they had to build another flight. So after 4 locks down, and underneath the railway viaduct was where the 2 flights split. The new flight had 10 separate locks. It went down a more gradual hill, I imagine. But unfortunately, when an approach road was built to the Runcorn Bridge in the 1960s, it blocked the line and the locks were closed completely. Right at the start, just behind Waterloo Bridge, but of course, where's the road now? It's gone. The road was removed as part of the Mersey Gateway project, which of course looks to improve the connections around Runcorn. Because before, when the approach road was there was no way they could have restored the locks, but now there is new hope, and there is no obstacles virtually apart from one little road near to the bottom of the flight. So hopefully one day in the near future, this lock flight will be restored.
Hopefully that won't be our windows when we come back. The boat got their windows smashed down here by some lads.
Just been talking to a guy and he said he's on a boat over there and he said, oh, you're not mooring there overnight, are you? He said that's what happened to the last one.
Yeah.
That moored there overnight.
But yeah, we're stopping off now because we want to look at the 10 locks.
Yeah.
But also here is the famous pub that was in 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
Mum likes it, I've never watched it.
Yeah, I used to watch it years ago. Yeah. The famous pub that they went to all the time.
Yeah, it's a Buddhist temple of all things.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, let's go have a look. This is the line of the locks here. Well, there's 2 arches down there and one would have been for one flight of locks and one would have been for the other. I think we've got to walk down there on that pavement to get down. We should see some chambers actually, there are also some chambers left. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. There used to be a massive great big road here and now it's just gone. You don't often see that. I thought that might be the line of the canal, but it's not. That's actually an old road. I think there's still some signs down there. They left the signs, but grass all over. Second line would have carried on through that house there, and there would have been a connecting arm, probably like Kingswood Junction, that would have connected to the other one. So I don't know why, but that's what it shows on the railway map online. And then the old line would have ran down through there, and that's where we go. We go with this one because there's nothing left of that one really, and this is the one that will be restored. Stood on what would have been a lock here, because you can see it's like it doesn't go down like in a slope, it goes down like gradually. And why am I seeing a narrowboat in a garden down there, Mum?
Oh yeah.
I think he's waiting for the flight to reopen. It's going to be quite a while.
Waiting for the flight to open. He's got a little way to wait. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't go down gradually. You can just tell where the locks are because it goes down suddenly where the end of a lock would have been. Looks like the restoration group's little base here. They've got a boat. I love it. Love the optimism. I'm actually stood on some old washall here. Yeah, this is a chamber.
Yeah.
Look, this is a thing for a lock gate.
Yeah.
Where the lock gate goes into.
Yeah.
That's where it would have been attached on the old collar there.
Yeah.
Still see a bit of cast iron. So this flight, of course, was in sets of 2 staircases because it's quite a steep descent. They use staircases when the descent is so steep that they can't really do pounds in between. They do little pounds, little tiny pounds. But the other one was just more gradual and 10 locks separate. This is the next one. Oh,
Yeah, you got the last night. This is where the gates would have been.
Most of the chamber is buried underneath the ground, but you can see. I've seen much worse restoration projects, much harder ones than this. There's quite a lot that still remains. The old wash wall there.
Oblivious to what it is. That's the weaver over there.
This would have been the last lock.
Yeah.
This is of course where it joins the Manchester Ship Canal here. And obviously you can come out here and you can go either towards Manchester and get up onto the Bridgewater further down there. And if this was here, wide beams would be able to escape. But wide beams on this side of the bridge can't escape now. So yeah. And if you go left, you'll end up onto the River Weaver, and then you got the Anderton boat lift. So it would have been another way for us to go. But
that's the River Weaver over there, isn't
yeah, I think so.
it? Look around there.
But amazingly, there's still some old remains of the lock gate here, which is cool. So this is the Runcorn Railway Bridge and was completed in 1868. It is still of course being used today, used by the Liverpool branch of the West Coast Main Line. We also had a look at the beautiful Silver Jubilee Bridge, which was opened 100 years later in 1961 as a replacement for the original bridge there. The Runcorn Transport Bridge, which was completed in 1905, and it was Britain's first transporter bridge. It was sort of like a ferry for cars. Cars would enter like a cage, and then they would be slid along, because there needed to be enough room for boats to come through, as this was over the Manchester Ship Canal. It was widened in the 70s, which was during the Queen's Silver Jubilee, so that's why they named it that. Well, we got back to the boat, had some lunch and set off on our cruise back down the Runcorn branch and towards Preston Brook. But on the way, guess who we bumped into again? None other than the quad bike and the dirt bikes. I think it goes without saying that these do not belong on the towpath and should not be on the towpath. But the worst thing about it is there was like a 3-year-old kid on the quad bike in between the guy who was riding its arms.
But when we got back to the junction, we headed straight to Midland Chandleries because we needed to get a new barge pole, as our old 12-foot one had snapped slightly. Then we continued our cruise back down towards Preston Brook Tunnel. Yeah.
So here.
Yeah, it had to be here, wouldn't it? Even though the stop block is the other side of the tunnel. Well, here we are. We finally made the... Okay.
Don't know what that was.
Like a bird scarer, I think. Birds went flying.
And I'm not happy because Josh didn't tell me that there's a train track right here.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, I hope they
All the
don't
way
go.
along here.
I hope they don't go at night. That is my one pet hate is trains.
We can't go no further because we don't have a CRT license at the moment. We're going to get it on.
We're going Saturday.
Yeah.
It's the 1st of March.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, if you buy a license, it starts from the start of the month, and we have not been on CRT waters, of course. So
For 2 months.
yeah,
For 2 months actually. 1st of January it happened,
yeah.
didn't it?
The 30th of December we came off Rochdale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But,
2 months. Yeah. So lovely little trip down Runcorn. Really great, nice place.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
And yeah, we're here. Finally made it to Preston Brook. We've been seeing the sign, Preston Brook.
Yeah,
this
we've
many
seen the
miles.
front. We've never
last
ever
4
been
years.
here, have we, Josh?
No,
So it's nice to see it finally.
Finally going to complete the Trent and Mersey after
Yeah.
all this time. And yeah, so we'll be going through Saturday, and we'll be going all the way to Manor Lane out on the Trent and Mersey, which is near, it's really close to Bridge. No, actually, we're going to Middlewich, which I think it'll be about 16-mile cruise. But there's no locks. Well, there's one actually, just past the Preston Brook Tunnel, which is funny because you thought that would be the, you know, well, it's a stop lock. It should be the barrier between the Bridgewater and the Trent and Mersey, but it's not. This tunnel is. Probably because the Bridgewater Canal managed to get away with not owning this tunnel, so CRT had to look after it instead. So yeah, very confusing sign, but essentially means we have to go through, get a slot every half an hour of 10 minutes.
Funny 'cause it's the way you say it, isn't it? It's the way you say it, but it means 20 minutes to.
Yeah.
20 minutes to the hour. So you go at 1:30 and
You get 10 minutes slot.
you get 10 minute slot.
And we'll be cruising through the three tunnels, Anderton, past the Anderton boat lift, and then on through Middlewich and Anderton.
Yeah, which we've never done the Anderton.
No, not through Middlewich, Northwich. No, we haven't, but unfortunately we can't do it 'cause it's shut. We're going to have to do that in the autumn.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back up then. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. And also check out our merch down below. There's a link to it, and you can probably see it in the description.
Yeah.
We've got some cool designs on there. Lovely lady named Kat made them for me. Really, really nice lady. And she's also working on a couple of new designs to do with the breach and to do with the cats.
Yeah, because we've had it in the past, the merch, but everyone keeps asking if we've
Yeah.
got a merch now. Now we've got more subscribers and things. everybody's asking. So
There wasn't no point doing it before. But yeah, okay. We'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye bye.